This is the Infinite Podcast with me, Ulf Tønneflittig.
And me, Øystein Robbe.
We're going boldly into the unknown to discover the truths about ourselves and I guess everyone else. And we're sharing it with
you guys.
Yeah.
And you don't know this, Ulf, but in this episode, I so many times wanted not to be here.
I know.
But we talked about exactly that, so it was perfect. And I'm so glad I was there.
This was a good episode. It's it's the horrors of life and times you want to just curl up and hide. Yeah. Enjoy. So, the power of the duvet.
The duvet? Duvet?
Duvet.
What is that?
It's the not the blanket, but you know the thing you cover yourself with when you're sleeping.
Okay, yeah.
The power of the duvet. Because what I was thinking about, we were just chatting before pressing rec on this wonderful portable recorder about the strangeness of the fact that if you're in bed and you're scared, the duvet sort of keeps you safe.
Yeah. It's nice.
But it's just what is made out of feathers?
Yeah.
Some fabric.
Soft.
It's very soft. But it's like if you're or like for me instance, if I'm home alone and I get like spooked, the safest thing I could think of would be to go up into my bed and like take cover.
Yeah.
What cover from what and to protect me with what's this power this blanket has? What's going on?
I think maybe I would just get out of the house.
Well, that also works. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting how we like to protect ourselves with things that doesn't really make sense on a rational level.
Yeah. But it feels so safe, right? Or like like the thing if you're watching a scary movie and you're sitting in the couch and you like pull up your feet. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
What's... So I guess it goes like, let's try to analytically like enter this space. So we're afraid, like, okay, in the case of the couch, it seems to me like we're afraid something's under the couch. Because there's space between floor and couch, and you're scared. So naturally your brain fills in the blank, this void.
Like, is it like, I've heard people talking about if you are in a car crash, that you also can have this reaction that, okay, you pull your feet up.
Well, like in the foster position, like you're
like which sometimes have saved, your legs, if the car is actually crashing. But it's just interesting. Is that just a reaction that is kind of a thought reaction that, okay, I need to protect my feet so they don't get squeezed or crunched together? Or is it more like just an instinct that, okay, I need to make myself as small as possible?
I guess if you roll into a ball, there's less likelihood of like damage to your internal organs or I don't know. Protect your dick. Like I don't know. Is it your reproductive organs? Just have them like really, really safe.
Yeah.
But do you think it's the same mechanism that makes you pull your feet up when you're watching a scary movie?
I'm not sure.
What's under the couch?
It's a good question. A big monster?
Have you checked?
That's gonna eat you? Or it could be a shark. Have you seen Sharknado?
No, actually, I have not seen Sharknado.
It's like, I think it's like 3 movies or something.
Well, it sounds like something you could make a lot of movies out of. It's a tornado.
It's interesting.
So there's a tornado, and the sharks sort of get
it's
caught up in the tornado, and then they end up
there
everywhere.
are sharks everywhere in the city, and I don't remember much, but
It made an impact.
I think they eat people. And there's blood
Yes,
everywhere.
because sharks do that, right?
Yeah.
Sharks eat people. Scary.
Yeah, it's scary. Just imagine if you can't be safe even in the city because it's going to rain sharks all over you and they're going to eat you.
But so on a primer, like on a very basic level, we want to be safe.
Yeah.
Because this place, this reality, this earth, this thing that we're sitting on, this ball.
Yeah.
It's not a safe place, is it?
No.
Super dangerous.
Yeah.
What can happen? I guess you could die. Yes. That might. Actually, it's not even that it might. It will.
Yeah. Then that's easy to forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
But is that what we're in contact with? Is it death? Is it our innate fear of death? I don't know.
But it's like I
or is the point of this purpose for us to find out so that we can know?
Why do people love watching scary movies, for instance?
That's I guess
some people love it. Some people just never gonna do it. Like
I really enjoyed scary movies. I still do.
Yeah.
After kids, a bit too scary actually. There's just something about it's not as fun anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's or maybe it's age even. I don't know.
I think there's a long time since I've seen a kind of a scary movie now.
A horror film.
A horror film. It's like I remember actually last time I saw a horror film was in the cinema, a Norwegian one. It's called Fritt Vilt 3.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's like probably 2016 or 2015 or something.
It's like 4 years ago.
Okay, that's a long time ago. But I remember that it was the same kind of thing that always annoys me with horror movies, which is probably showing me why I'm not the right audience for it, because I care about the wrong details in the movies. I actually care about the story making sense.
Oh, you're there for the story.
Yeah, but it never does.
You're one of those people.
And I remember in that movie there was this like kind of what do you call it, carekeeper of the place. So there was like this haunted mental hospital or something, and that was
always a
closed a long time ago. And there was this kind of this janitor or something. I don't remember what he was. He was something at that place, and he was still living there, maybe. And there was so many like loose ends to the story when it finished that it's just like, what's the point? So, that's what I always do in watching horror films. Like, okay, what's the point? Because to me, the point is not to be scared, because I don't like that part of it. So that's why I care too much about the story, I guess.
But so let's try to circle back into sort of our point of origin. So you're lying in bed, and for some strange reason you sort of feel this you're at like uneasiness. Like there's something doesn't quite feel right. And what I would do is like take the blanket or the duvet and sort of tuck it like properly around myself so that I'm safe.
Yeah.
And what is this, like, if we're gonna try to venture into like what is this fear?
It's also like the feeling of comfort.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
That's true. But
so is it just to avoid something, or is it to actually to just feel comfort?
I think that's maybe more to the point.
Yeah.
And what I'm curious about is like, what is this fear?
Mm.
What is it? Because it's a very subtle type of fear. It's not like a horror film. It's more like an existential fear.
Mm.
It's sort of like a nagging question in the back of your mind, which you seem to be unable to find the answer to.
Yeah.
And it makes you really uneasy. And you need comfort.
Yeah.
And I guess from that perspective, it makes sense. You just want to be with... Well, to pull it further, I think it sort of makes sense now that we're talking about it. Like, what is the safest place you've ever been in this incarnation, in this life? Where were you the safest you could ever be?
I don't remember the English word for it.
The womb?
Yeah. But it is like also I think that's true, but it can also be untrue in some circumstances. But yeah, in general, I would say that's true. Like, I think you can actually be in the word.
The womb.
The womb.
WOMB, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And not feel safe. Depends It depends on who is actually holding that space for you.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So it's not always it, but in general.
In general, as a concept.
And also,
yes, definitely.
Like with the car accident and in the sofa, you seem to be going into the foster position.
Yeah.
So what's actually happening when you're feeling unsafe is you're retracting back into the womb. Because that's the safe place.
Yeah.
And I think, except from the circumstances where the womb is not a safe place,
that's what we tend to do.
It is a place of love.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the place where you will feel like mothers and fathers, like the surroundings. It's unconditional love.
Yeah,
you're in love. And then you're tossed out into the world, this dangerous place with car accidents and monsters under the sofa and Sharknadoes. Yeah, that's gonna suck. So what would be the natural response? Let's get up in the womb again. Is that safe?
Yeah. So what is it
So we're actually afraid of life.
Yeah.
Life scares us.
What is life then?
Yeah, what is life? Wow.
Is life really uncertain if you wouldn't have a reference of something else? Or is it just uncertain because you have a reference of being not needing to show up, just being in the womb?
I think it speaks to something in the land of why am I here? You're uncertain. The uncertainty and the fear comes. I think if we boil it long enough, that's what you're left with. Is this? And I can obviously only speak for myself, but I know that this also resonates with other people. Is the fact that this nagging question in the back of the head is sort of like, why am I here? Why? And because this place, where do I fit in? Because something feels off.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, something feels like, am I good enough? Am I worthy of this place even? And this, gives us an opportunity for a lot of suffering, of course, which we do love.
Yeah,
that's the good stuff. That's the smooth place.
How do you find the answer to that, to those questions?
Well, I dare say you actually have to listen up.
Yeah.
You got this little friend of yours. Let's call him Mr. or Mrs. Intuition. Now, Mr. Intuition doesn't speak that loudly. It's quiet. And you might, well, we tend to ignore Mr. Intuition and listen to other parts of ourselves,
Yeah.
which are driven by something, well, it sort of lacks the answers, like the knowing. Like intuition knows what's up. The rest of you is doing some calculated guesses. The ego does not know what's up. So it just has to construct the world based on the facts that's presented in front of
Yeah.
him or her.
And assumptions about past and future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read up on history and watch the news, and then you're sort of, okay, I know what this place is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Like, any person reading history, watching the news, just looking at the world, would be like, but this doesn't make any sense. And the reason it doesn't make any sense is because you are avoiding your part in the creation of the world by saying that, well, I was in the womb, I was safe, it was good and nice and warm and perfect, and then I came out here and it was chaos and torment and hell and the sharks under the couch, and then, like, I don't want to be here. I'd rather be in the womb. But that's sort of like a cop-out.
I know that feeling.
You know the feeling. We all know that feeling. It's a nice little... and you can generate a lot of fear and a lot of ideas and concepts about what you need to do. For instance, maybe you can conclude that this place is like, this place is horrible and humans are a parasite, or we don't even deserve to be here. And I think that might put you on quite a destructive path.
That's true.
But you can also listen to Mr. Intuition, to your inner voice, your higher self.
Yeah.
Call it what you like, and you will actually find clarity. I promise you that, because you know. That's why you're listening. That's why you're here right now. Is you know this. You know all of this, and you know it very well. But the game and the play and the fun of it all, which doesn't look like fun right now, I know, is rediscovering that.
Yeah.
But the doubt, my friend. When the doubt comes in, then it's comfortable to take that blanket
like
or duvet or
talking
something.
About my life right now, you know?
Talking about my life as well, I think.
Yeah.
Even though currently I feel like I'm right now I'm surfing the wave and I'm unbreakable. Yeah. Just enjoying the journey.
Yeah. I'm just in the middle of a wave, like inside of it.
Yeah, you're drowning. You're drowning. Yeah.
Even though I know that the wave is gonna pass,
yeah,
I still kind of feel that drowning feeling.
What if there's another wave?
Oh no. There's more?
There's more waves.
I don't think I want to be here.
No. Maybe rather be the ocean.
Yeah, maybe.
But so, and I guess let's go into the ocean, because I think the fear of the ocean, which again, I think revolves around the same thing, our fear of this, well, let's call it the unknown then. Like, we don't want to go into the unknown. We don't want to check out what's under the couch. If there's a sound downstairs, or if you live in a 2-story building like I do, or have a basement or something, you don't want to go down there to see what's going on. You don't know.
Yeah.
And a part of you want to know, but at the same time, and this is the fun part. Somewhere along the way, we managed to convince ourselves that this is a malevolent place. We're born sinners. We're horrible. Like, at the core, we suck.
Yeah. Something is wrong and we are wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Everything is our fault. All fault.
everything is our fault.
Yeah.
Yes. You're getting it.
Yeah, I've studied this for some time.
I've been a student of suffering for a long time, and I am to blame for everything. But so this unknown, it's a monster.
Yeah.
It's screaming. It's gonna tear you apart. It's gonna destroy you. So let's get back into the womb again, shall we? And be safe.
But how far is it possible to go in the sense of, I mean, when you're looking into the ocean or into the unknown, you can still kind of be in this doubt that, is it really true that I'm the sinner of all? Like I'm the one that did everything wrong? And to what level, how far can you go in that doubt before it will it ever become actually, oh yes, I actually am wrong? Like, can you actually go to that level where you just truly accept yourself as a sinner?
I think that's where salvation lies.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that you are actually responsible for all of this.
Yeah.
But it's in the opposite way of what you think.
Yeah.
It's a gift. It's not a curse. It's a flower, not poison.
Yeah.
But we're sort of caught up in the idea, right? That we're not it, but we're feeling that we're it. So then we must be bad.
Yeah.
And then we just follow. So it's a if you do math, and it's like a long equation, and at the beginning of the equation you do something wrong, that's gonna mess up the whole equation. Even though you do everything right after that, like the base of the whole thing. The point of origin is you started out wrong. Everything else will just be as a result of that. So what you need to do, and we're back to our friend Mr. Intuition, or your higher self, or like your core, is that you need to actually push through the idea that this is a malevolent place, that this is a horrible place with horrible human beings doing horrible things to each other just because we're at the core of it all, we're sinners.
Yeah.
And you'll see what lies there. It's quite a treat.
Yeah.
Because there is no monster under the couch. And there are no chainsaw killers in the basement. And the chances of a Sharknado are,
could be,
from what I can tell, very rare.
Yeah.
And actually, sharks are not monsters. They're not fish either because they're mammals.
I'm not sure actually.
Oh, God damn it! This is not a knowledge podcast. I repeat, Google it. But the dolphins are not fish. They're no.
It's something that
the
is
whale
alive at least.
It's alive.
And it has consciousness.
But like imagine like you're the most horrible person you can think of. Oh, let's say, for instance, Adolf Hitler comes to mind. He's a popular fella when you want to talk about monsters.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. It's just like you and me. And the moment you can see past that, the monstrousness of his actions, you will see that there's just a frightened human being underneath. Who, just like me and you, convinced himself that, well, the world is a horrible place.
Yeah.
We're all monsters. Under the couch. Couch potatoes. And like with the ocean, I remember how afraid I was of the ocean. Because it's a mystery, right? If you're like looking down into the ocean of the deep end, like not at shallow waters, but like the great depths of the oceans, you can't see anything. It's dark. It's pitch black. What's hiding down there? It must be horrible.
I had this experience this summer in the mountains, though, so it's not in the sea, but it's still a big.
If it's deep enough, it'll work.
It's black, and it was raining and it was windy. There was a kind of a small storm, so to speak.
Was it the Sharknado?
There was no sharks, I think. But we were crossing the pond, or the pond, the water,
the lake.
The lake, yeah, lake. We were crossing the lake with a boat, very small boat, and it was big, kind of.
Was it like a kayak or
no? It was
a
like,
canoe.
No, bigger than that. Like more a boat where you can sit.
It's a rowing
like
boat.
Yeah,
cool.
Kind of, and it was very windy. It was not necessarily like big waves in a sense, but it was this kind of feeling that the whole ocean or the whole lake was moving. Like there was like this carpet that was just unstable in a way, like with these waves in it, and it was this really special feeling. It was also raining on the water, so it was kind of different.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and it was really weird. The experience to be in a boat on that kind of carpet that was just moving around like this, and it was deep, and you could like really black into the water, and it was scary as well, but it was also exciting. Like, what is this thing? Usually it's still, or not moving like that anyway. Yeah.
But it's like, as a kid, I concluded that it was Steven Spielberg's fault because I saw this film. I think it's defined as a thriller, not as a horror film.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah.
But it's scary as shit, man. And you have this picturesque beach community. And the sheriff, and there's a shark, and the shark is mean.
Yeah,
he just eats everyone, and he's got like an agenda. Now, I think, in retrospect, and I think also, I'm sure Steven Spielberg was well aware of this, is that the shark doesn't actually have any of these qualities.
Yeah.
This is what we project onto the shark.
Yeah.
We make the shark the monster. Obviously, the shark will eat things because it's a predator. It's not a vegetarian. Might maybe change its mind somewhere along evolutionary roads. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
But it's
that's what we do when we are afraid of something. We make these huge projections,
like bears in the wood.
Yeah,
they'll maul you, they'll eat you, they'll slaughter you.
Yeah,
dangerous. Snakes. This snake is extremely venomous. Look what happened to him. He died. Not by snake though.
Yeah,
it was like died in the ocean, didn't he? Damn it, Steve Irwin. From the it's called the don't remember the name of the fish, which has like a long tail with a poisonous spike at the end, something like that.
I don't know.
Getting off topic.
Yeah,
let's get back into the womb. The womb.
When I was in the military service, we were keeping guard at night. In the woods, and we're two people, and we were kind of shifting different. We had like a few hours each during the night to keep guard around the camping ground. And as I was lying there, I was looking into the woods, and eventually it kind of grew on me, this vision. And I was so certain that I saw like another base camp with some huge like antennas and some stuff.
Oh yeah.
And a fence and everything. Like I had a really clear view of how I thought it looked like. And then the morning after, when I woke up and I was going over there to see, it was only trees. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
But that vision that I thought I saw, it kind of grew on me gradually, that I was putting sense to what I was seeing, and the more I put sense to what I was seeing, the clearer I was seeing what I thought it was.
Yeah, it sort of amplifies itself.
Yeah,
it's like an echo chamber. So it's it's just And
I guess it's the same thing we do with everything. If you're not paying attention. Yeah.
So paying attention, listening, being present.
Like with my financial situation right now, the more I look at it with the eyes, with the limited eyes, the more I confirm that what I think I see that I don't want to see, the more I confirm to myself that that's what it is, and the more I lock down myself to see something else.
Yeah. For those not familiar with Øystein's financial situation, earlier today, you were sort of at the point where it seemed like you were doomed.
Yeah.
Because you had sort of an idea that, correct me if I'm wrong, that your financial situation would be somewhat different this autumn. That your work, everything sort of were aligned so that your financial situation would be better.
Yeah.
But then it turned out it would be actually exactly the same.
Yeah, just the same.
Nothing has changed. Yeah. And you were sort of relying on...
Yeah, I was relying on that, and I felt like also like I had, sacrificed more hours this fall to kind of have more financial to kind of get on track.
Yeah, you sacrificed more time to get more money.
Yeah, so that my situation would be better.
Yes.
And then it turned out I was going to work more, but still earn the same, which kind of sucked. But it turned out I was wrong. I just saw it with some limited eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I saw this movie yesterday, and I think my agenda, like my goal is to always reference one movie each podcast episode. I think I'm...
Yeah, I think you're
more or less
pretty
there.
much on track. Yeah.
We saw The Sound of Music. And Maria gets thrown out of the monastery because she just doesn't fit in there. She's supposed to do bigger and better things. She just doesn't know it herself. And her helpers at the monastery, her mother, not her biological, but the mother nun, whatever, is sort of like, well, you can do when God closes the door, he opens a window. And I really, really like that analogy. Because like the door is what's apparent, right? Like if you're going somewhere, the door would be the way to go.
Yeah.
So if the door is locked, if the door is closed, like your financial situation, no, you're doomed then.
Yes.
It's just that
sucks.
That's because you're only looking at the door. Now, if you dare look and aim higher, you'll see there's a window. But the window requires that you go a bit higher.
Yeah. And then you need to like physically raise your head. Like
yeah, you can't just look down on the ground at your poor self.
Yeah.
And you need to propel yourself upwards and forward. And you'll go out the window.
But it's also amazing how, on a physical level, how much, like, you've probably noticed, but how much of a difference it actually makes just to actually raise your head and look forward.
Yeah.
And upward instead of down in the ground. It's so physically different. And you really have access to your resourcefulness in a completely different way when you actually just lift your head a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess the world is constructed in such a way that when you're just looking down, you just see the ground.
Yeah.
But if you lift, you get to see the bigger picture. You see the mountains and the trees and the sky and the
Yeah.
and the waves
And the
crashing
waves.
against you,
Yeah.
murdering you with sharks.
Mm.
Yeah, you can hide under the couch.
Yeah.
That's not a safe place to hide.
Mm.
I'd go for the bed.
Yeah,
I'd take the
I like it
blankets, the
better.
duvet, and just
Yeah.
make a fortress.
Mm.
But the adventure lies in the unknown, my friends. Life exists in the unknown. The known, that's where you've been. The unknown is where you shall go. Now, the unknown is not off a cliff without a parachute. That's fear.
Mm.
That's you giving into fear.
Yeah.
But the unknown is staring into the darkness and listening to your intuition and your inner self, not to the constructs of your mind saying that there's a four-headed monster with wings, flame coming out its nostrils,
Mm.
ready to eat you
Yeah.
at any given moment, or take all your money. It might also take your money.
Yeah. That's
Might
even,
hap-
that's
it might
even
happen.
worse.
Yeah, that's even, isn't that? I think that says so much about the human condition right now and how
Yeah,
far off
it
we
really
are.
does.
Our sort of like our core values is that losing all your money
Mm.
is actually the worst thing that we can imagine.
Yeah. But it's like,
That'd be horrible. That would make you want to go back up into that womb.
yeah.
That's a cash-free area.
Yeah. It is. But
Get food
But
through the
for
umbilical
me,
cord.
I've been going through many layers of this whole money game, and I've been in phases of my life where I've experienced that I'm still okay without any money. I'm still okay without being able to afford a meal today. You know, I've had those experiences, and that shifted something in me to know that it's gonna be okay. And I often feel what actually happens to me now is that I know that it's going to be okay. So part of me kind of just ignore that issues regarding money until it builds up and becomes so like a big thing that it hits me right in the face and I drown in the wave again. And then I stay in that wave for a while, and when the wave is over, I get up and I realize, oh, it wasn't that bad, and then I run the whole cycle over again, crashing into a new wave. Because what happens in the meantime is that I realize it's not that bad, so it can't be that important then. Maybe I solve some of the issues, but I still go on the same.
There's still something there for.
It's like trying to get onto the board again and again and again and again, and just drowning in the waves again and again and again and again.
You know, I heard, and it really I really liked that. I think it was Russell Brand speaking on with Pete Holmes, talking about how Eddie Izzard had told him when he was like just starting up that you need to do it 100 times before you start sort of criticizing yourself and looking like at what you're doing, judging yourself.
Yeah.
Hope I'm paraphrasing that right. And I it's like the same thing. Like we think that if we mess up once, then well, it's over. We're dead. But as it turns out, you can mess up a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And actually, if you change the word "mess up" to "learn," now, and that's back to the thing you were talking about, how you amplify like your convictions.
Yeah.
Is that every time you do something wrong, if you say I messed up, I'm a fuck up, I'm a failure. That's what you're going to end up being, because that's what you're telling yourself and you're putting yourself down.
That's
now,
true.
if you're saying, I made a mistake, I'm learning,
Yeah.
then you're on a completely different path.
That's true.
And it all boils down to perspective. Like if you're sitting in the couch watching a scary film, and you know the uneasiness and the scariness just gets to you, so you go into that good old foster position up in the couch. You feel safe, you feel loved again. But the film is an experience, and it's a ride.
Yeah.
It's not even real.
Yeah.
And that again begs the question, how real is this reality? Why do we watch movies? To feel things. And I think to speak to that, you have your very own film. You are the star of this film.
Yeah.
Now, did you ever watch a film where nothing happened and you found that to be an entertaining film?
Yeah. You just showed me one the other day, or the beginning of it.
Oh, the beginning of A Waste of Time? Oh, that's a... But that was just the opening sequence.
Yeah.
We'll talk about A Waste of Time on a different episode, and hopefully both Eric and Christian will be guests and speak about their wonderful film. Yeah, the thing is with life, and like with that film as well, things happen. And it's how you show up when those things happen that sort of defines what they will do to you. They can crush you, they can destroy you.
That's true.
Or they're the building blocks of your greater self. Like, typically when you hear interviews with people who've made it big or done something great, there's always this story of obstacles, failing, almost giving up. But there's this drive, and that drive is not, I'm such a failure, I will never make it. It's, I can make it. I am good enough. Now you can always make it, and you can do anything. Anything. Now, when I say this to my kids, they say, well, can you walk on the sun? It'll burn up, man. I'm like, yes. But that's from one perspective. Maybe you're more than just your fleshmobile.
Yeah.
Maybe that can walk on the sun. Maybe that's the thing that shines the sun. I do believe Mr. Alan Watts at least struck a chord with me when he said, it's not the sun that shines, it's you that shine the sun. If you don't get up in the morning and look up at that beautiful ball, don't look too long at it because that'll destroy your eyes. It's not going to shine.
Yeah.
You're powerful. Even though your financial state is a complete mess. You're messed up. Oh.
Yeah, but it's funny how it is very comfortable to always have some kind of challenge to focus on. Like, life is perfect except from this thing that I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds like just about a lot of us, except for the ones that are so deep in the struggle that they can't even have. Because some play really difficult games. I'm sorry, I'm not putting the game down, but it's still...
It seems like that's the progress of it, like, at least for me, and I think for you as well, and other people I know, is like, at some point you're going through life, and the struggles is kind of, you are the struggles, in a way, and then it's really heavy, and it's really hard. Yeah,
it's the internal struggles.
Yeah.
But it's existence itself.
Yeah, but eventually you develop yourself on the path to become someone who are not your struggles. So you can kind of observe your struggles and go in and out of identifying yourself with them. So you can actually all of a sudden forget this whole thing that made your life suck, and you have a wonderful time, and in the next moment you you realize again, oh, I was doing this thing. I was working on this struggle that I have created in my life.
Let's not forget the struggle.
Let's not forget, and then you focus on that again. So it's all about where you put your attention, because you get freer and freer to actually choose where you focus.
Yeah.
But when you're not that free, it's horrible, really, because then the experience you have is with the struggle is that you are so identified with that you think it's the only thing that exists.
I believe what you're describing is what biblical peoples call hell.
Yes, I think so.
It's a state of mind.
Yes.
As is heaven.
Yes.
Now, and it's all a matter of what you tether yourself to, right? What's your anchor? Is your anchor that this is a malevolent place? And that's going to be going through hell. But if your anchor is this is heaven, and we're rediscovering the beauty of this place through learning and helping each other, then no matter what hits you in the face, no matter how big the wave, it can even kill you.
Yeah.
You're still here, and you're still connected to the great infinite goodness that is our creation. Now, I dare say the concept of God is good.
Yeah.
It's not. Let's not make it too complicated over here, because we tend to think it's a judging thing. You need to sort of prove yourself to get to that place where you're accepted into the.
When you finally accepted.
Into the inner circle.
It's
you
never
know,
gonna happen.
And when you tether yourself to money, or to your looks, or to your job, well, those are all fleeting things.
But what is it? It says in the
But love, the core, that's forever.
Yeah. But I was thinking about the word "good," and it's in the Bible in the Genesis.
It's in the creation story, right? So God creates things, and they were good.
Yeah,
they were not perfect. Thank you, Robel, for that, because that really was. That's such a good, like, observation of the use of words.
Yeah,
like, be impeccable with your words, because if he said, and he created earth and it was perfect, no, that's not what the story says. It's good, and you're good, and you always have been, you always will be. You can always obviously let doubt fool you into thinking that in the depths of the ocean there's like a huge shark just waiting to eat you alive, and then you'll be dead.
Yeah,
and then you're fucked. Or you can think that adventure awaits, but get some scuba gear and the diving classes. Don't just jump in there. This place is a place for learning. School of life.
Yeah.
Everyone's your teacher. Everyone's your helper. We're all here helping each other out.
Yeah.
It's just one little thing we need to do. Get out of our own way.
Yeah.
And the womb was good for
starting point.
It's a good like starting point.
Yeah. But it's not the destination.
It's not the destination, my friend. The womb is a small place. Our destination is an infinite place.
Yeah.
An infinitely infinite place. That's big. That's massive. That's you, man. Huge.
Yeah.
Let's go into the basement.
Let's go into the basement.
Check it out.
You've been listening to the Infinite Podcast with
Ulf Tønderflytter
and me, Øystein Rabbe.
Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah, and Yeah, or on Facebook, or
Yeah, follow us on Facebook.
yeah.
And also, we've now made a Patreon account.
Yes.
So if you like this podcast and would like to support us, go to Patreon and check out our Infinite Podcast site there. Your support would
Would make
really
it
appreciate
possible for us to make more podcasts. It takes a lot of time. We enjoy it so much to do it, but we also have regular jobs to pay the bills, and our dream is to be able to do this full time.
Yeah,
and,
this is our full time.
and
This
we're
will
taking
be our full time.
baby steps towards that dream, and we want to make more episodes and continue to share it with you. So that would be great. Actually, I realized when we talk about it, we haven't even explained what Patreon actually is. So
Yeah, it's like a support site where you can support a business or
artist or
an artist or whatever
creator that makes something
with I guess like monthly donations. Could be like from $1 and upwards.
Yeah.
Right. So anything would be great. We would be so thankful, and you would be thankful because we're doing this for you.
Yeah, and it actually gives it's a good feeling sometimes to actually help the things you care about. So if you're listening to us and you care about us, but I mean seriously, it's a good thing to contribute to the things that matters to you. So
that will
we're not asking you to pay unless you actually want to see this podcast grow and unfold into what it's about to become.
Infinite greatness.
Yes.